Many thanks for your company. But there is increasing support for the Human Sexual and Ghanaian Family Bills 2021. We know that yesterday was the last day for the receipt of memos in support of the bill. So faith-based organizations in the country have drawn the line in the stand for an all-out war against groups and individuals opposed to the bill. Earlier today, a group calling itself Advocates for Christ briefed journalists on the medical and scientific research which puts the spotlight on the impact of LGBTQ+ activities. Edem Senanu is president of the group.
Now, obstetricians or gynecologists and pediatricians are not allowed, when you are born, to write on your card that you are male or female in some countries. They say you must wait for that child to become of age to tell you that I'm male or I'm female. What kind of nonsense? So doctors are not allowed to work. Then we have gender dysphoria, those people who cannot make up their mind, whether they're male or female. They have anxiety, they have depression. Meanwhile, because of the so-called conversion therapy, they say that doctors should not tell you that, oh, you are depressed. They should just affirm that, oh, you are okay. It is because you are transgender. If you say they have depression, the laws will arrest you and take you somewhere. So doctors, medical professionals, health professionals in these countries they are not at liberty to offer professional medical advice. Because if you do, they will accuse you of promoting conversion therapy and get someone to come and arrest you. So you can't even advise them when you see that, oh, it's depression or it's anxiety. Because now we say homosexuality is normal. We have voted and thrown it out of the American Psychology Association's book, and now the whole world must follow America and something crazy. And there's child sex abuse. The research also shows that most of them experience sex abuse. And that's what has made them who they are in childhood. And then they repeat same. You see, where the Genome Project said that 75% of what contributes to your sexual orientation is based on your environment and culture. So if in your environment you were sexually abused, your sexual orientation towards your children will emanate from what happened to you. Are you with me? So that's the logic in the science. So the science has shown that for most homosexuals, they are likely to replicate and visit the same type of experiences they've gone through on their children, on young people in their environment. Keep that in mind. Let's look at the data. The ratio of physicians per 1,000 people in Ghana at the moment is 0.1. Number of physicians per 1,000 people is 0.1. Compared to 2.6 physicians per 1,000 people in the UK and 2.8 physicians per 1,000 people in the US, you have 0.1. It's not 1 yet, too. 1. You want to embrace these issues. We also have a low overall national hospital bed capacity. Our total bed capacity is 0.9 bed. We haven't got 1 bed, though. 0.9 bed per 1,000 people. In the UK, it's 2.5 beds per 1,000 people. And in the US, 2.9. You have 0.9. Keep that in mind. The medical and psychological impact is grave. It's affecting everything, including the medical systems in the countries where they are promoting this and allowing it. In those countries, medical doctors are not allowed to engage their patients, diagnose and treat them in a manner consistent with their expertise. They are forced to embrace this inclusion ideology. So for social reasons, let's just accept everybody. Let's all be quiet and allow it. Let's not tell them that this is just anxiety. This is just depression. No, don't tell them. Just tell them you are okay. The mandate being pushed by the current US government in this area is being challenged by the Alliance Defending Freedom on behalf of the American College of Pediatricians, as well as the Catholic Medical Association and other individuals. So this thing that is going on, for example, in the US, is being challenged. The gender inclusion package is holistically dangerous. Let me say that. It's holistically dangerous. I want to say we are embracing everything. If embraced by Ghana, our nation will slowly arrive at the levels of chaos that we can see, or anarchy, in other healthcare systems. Our healthcare system already needs a boost. We must learn our lessons from the other jurisdictions that this is being practiced. and make sure that we protect our populace. In conclusion, contrary to the views expressed by the LGBTQI persons, proponents, assigns, agents, and what have you, sex is binary, and it is scientifically assigned at birth by the presence of male or female genitalia, but not just that, by the issue of your chromosomal composition and your hormonal levels. All of that forms a basis of deriving and arriving at who you are, whether male or female. Not just a physical observation of whether you have a male organ or a female organ. Again, in conclusion, after studying 500 million citizens of the earth, the largest single ever research work the Human Genome Project has established, there is no evidence of any gay gene. And to that extent, if there is no evidence of a gay gene, there is no unique case to argue for anything such as a gay basic right or a gay fundamental right. The over 64 terms and counting that describe various sexual lifestyles or orientations are unscientific ideologies or concepts that people have come up with no basis in research. There's no scientific research backing them.
That's Adam Senanu there at that press conference a while ago. Joining me in the studio is Aaron Ajete Akrong. He'll tell us the story shortly, and because he's been telling it at the press conference, very interesting story that you want to stay for. But first, let me take you back to that encounter that a gay person here in Ghana had with David Mackenzie of the CNN.
We're heading to a safe house in Accra.
We're probably about 30 minutes from your live location now.
Run by gay activists.
Okay. Can we carry in the cameras, or we need to keep the cameras in boxes?
I think let's carry it in boxes.
Thank you for having us.
We're meeting Joe. We agreed to hide his identity because he's afraid of being attacked again.
Take me back to that moment when those men came and started harassing you.
I was shaking when they took me to that room, and then they set up their cameras, and I was screaming, I was crying.
His crime, the gang of men say, approaching another man. Is it true that you told him that you like him, they ask. Yes, he whispers.
Like, how can this happen to me? They beat me around 9 to 11. All those times, like, they were beating me. I wanted to kill myself. For me, when I saw this video, I was like, it would be better I kill myself because I have nowhere to go.
And your dad threw you out?
Yeah.
And what was that moment like?
I cried like never before.
Often captured in videos too graphic to show and shared on social media. Part of a pattern of brutal verbal and physical attacks by vigilantes to humiliate LGBTQ Ghanaians. Soon, the community fears they could be targeted by the state.
What is your message to someone who is LGBT in Ghana right now?
Well, we love them. We always say we love them.
But you want to send them to prison?
No, we are asking them not to do it.
A draft law to be debated in weeks coerces LGBTQ Ghanaians to choose between jail time and so-called conversion therapy, seen by UN experts as torture. It prosecutes same-sex displays of affection, even punishes activists supporting the community. Activists call it a homophobe's dream.
Today in 2021, you believe that someone who supports openly the LGBT community should potentially go to prison for 10 years?
Of course.
Why is
because
that?
It's against our culture. It's against our norm. It's against our tradition. And we don't want things that are against our sensibility should be, given priority in our society.
Tragically, the LGBTQ community here says that tolerance was slowly improving in Ghana.
And I know that African cultures are cultures of tolerance, diversity, acceptance and participation.
When they opened a support centre in January, it rallied conservative lawmakers who say that being gay is un-African, a Western import. Backed by powerful religious groups, the leadership of the million-strong Pentecostal church say LGBTQ organizations are a national security threat.
We're struggling a little bit to get hold of someone.
But they refuse to speak to us.
We talk to our leadership.
To the leadership.
Yes, yes.
And their security stopped us from filming.
We're just trying to speak to some people. It's not allowed. It's not allowed.
The religious support for the bill here is absolute.
It's one thing promoting the values of the church. It's another thing to prosecute those who are identifying like this. So why take that extra step?
It is not the values of the church. It's the values of the human species.
So that's David Mackenzie's documentary put together for CNN, and you had a young gay man there share his ordeal with him as well. And we're talking about the promotion of proper human sexual rights here, and that bill that's currently before Parliament. A number of memos, we are told, at the last count, about 150 memos from the Muslim community, the Christian community, generally members of the public in support of it. Of course, there are also some 15 prominent Ghanaians made up of lawyers, professors, amongst others, who are also against it. There have been concerns about this for and against argument against this particular bill. But we're waiting for the Constitutional and Legal Affairs Committee of Parliament, what the next line of action will be. We're told that there will be a national stakeholders forum on this, where they will take views in support or against this particular bill. But I told you earlier about Aaron Ajete Akrong. I'm pretty much excited to have him join us here on the Pulse today. And he's been sharing his experience. We are told that for 20 years, he was gay, almost married his partner, but that was not to happen. Was it fate? I don't know what exactly that will be, but he's been telling us that we'll be signing away more like it's a death warrant if we do not pass that particular bill. Let him tell the story himself. Welcome, David.
I'm Aaron.
Hey, Aaron, I beg your pardon. I don't know where David came from. But Aaron, I've been listening to you today at that press conference, but I'd want to start from the very beginning. How did you become gay?
All right, so as we always say, we were born with it. Now, as a child, I grew up with that tendency, that affection. When I see the same person, same boy, same guy, I feel attracted to boys instead of girls.
At what age?
At the age of 9.
9.
Yes.
Okay.
The age of 9 was my first encounter, but I've had that through my life.
How was that first encounter? Share with us.
All right, so it was just a play. This mama needed that thing, you know, and we were 8, and we were supposed to choose a partner, 5 boys, 3 girls. Everyone had a partner. I left with myself and a family friend. Then I was like, since I behave like a girl, I have the tendencies, let me be your girlfriend. And that was it. Because I already had that feeling
Towards
attracted
boys.
to that guy.
Okay, to that particular guy.
Exactly.
At the age of 8.
Yes.
Okay, so at that time you felt that this was you. You were
Yes.
born with it.
Yes.
Okay, so then that first encounter, Mama ne Dada, then you played the girl.
Yeah, then it continued. So anytime we are left alone, something happens. Then that was it.
Something like what?
I mean, making out.
Okay, okay. Did you actually have sex, you would say?
Yeah, yes, please.
With this particular boy?
Yes.
At the age of 8?
9.
9?
Yes, please.
Interesting. And so at what point did you come out openly then? So it continued throughout?
So it continued
8, you should have been in class 2, class 1, or class 3, thereabout.
Yeah. So it continued to, I went to junior high school. That's when people started talking about it. I heard that it's a sin. So I always argue with people about it. This is how actually I feel. So why is it that my feeling is a sin? You get it? So now then goes to, no one is born gay. Because we don't have any gene for gay. It's just male and female, that's it. These are just feelings. Because the Bible even talks about it. It said the flesh and the spirit are contrary to each other. So if you walk in your flesh, if you walk in the flesh, you fulfill the lust of the flesh. But if you walk in the spirit, you fulfill the fruit of the spirit.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's just, no one is born gay. It's just feelings. So if you are saying people are born gay, then what happens to someone who is curious? Because some people are gay because they are curious. Because out of curiosity, they became gay.
some people out of poverty, they became gay. Is it that the poverty changed their gene? Do you get my point?
I get it.
Is it that their curiosity changed their gene? You get it? So if you are saying Jew about just like David, the story we just saw, he wasn't attacked because he's gay. He was attacked because he was trying to lure someone in.
Yeah.
So if you say you are born that way, why are you trying to bring someone who wasn't born that way?
But he can't do it alone. He needs someone else.
So
just
find
like
someone who is born that way and do that with and be free. So his attack was not, to me, this story, well, I've been attacked before. I lost a tooth. Yeah.
How were you attacked?
Yeah, because of this same thing.
What did you do?
Okay, so I dance a lot. So they'll be inviting me to parties and stuff. So when they say, hey, gay, that kind of thing. And I was attacked and beaten.
Oh, so you were never caught in the act or
no,
anything
it wasn't
like
even
that?
in the act.
Just because you...
Yeah, I dress like a girl, I walk like a girl, I dance like a girl. You get it?
But no one should be attacked just because of that?
No. For that one, I don't agree with. Yeah.
And then they beat you?
Yes.
And you lost the tooth?
Yes.
But in all this, how did your parents take from that 9 years all the way to JHS when you felt like you were attracted to men?
At a point, my dad asked me about it, but I just had to pretend. But with my mom, she got to know, and I always tell her that, you know what, this is what you got. Because we have people whose sons are thieves and stuff. So if I happen to be gay, just take it like that. So anytime someone insults you with that, just tell the person, this is what you got.
But being a thief is a criminal offense. Like, it's criminal.
It's a sin. The reason I was...
I wouldn't want to go into the religious part, at least the law. You can't be a thief and openly say that you're a thief.
Yeah, I understand.
So
you can't be gay and openly say you're gay as well.
Okay. So it's a crime?
Yeah, it is.
That's how you see it?
Yeah.
Okay. So 20 years, you had a partner. Was it after, at what point did you, becoming steady with that partner that you talk about?
Okay, so after junior high school, I went to senior high school. I was introduced into gay dating sites. So it's like more of prostitution, where we meet people to have sex with. You get it? Now, through that, I met a white man in Greece who I nearly got married to.
You went to Greece?
No, almost. Because he was coming down here to pick me up. Then I met Christ. Yeah.
So you went on the dating site, and then you met a foreigner from Greece who was coming to marry you.
Yeah. Not just that, like even on that same dating site, we still meet white people here in Ghana and have fun with them in the hotels.
They are here?
Yes.
They are in Ghana?
Yes, please.
Tell me a bit about it.
About what?
About this dating site and how you meet.
Oh, it's just like a hookup.
How you meet up.
So you go on there, you put your profile, your pictures. Sometimes Instagram. How my profile was, like anytime someone visits my Instagram, they will send a DM. Oh, you look cute. Can we meet? And that's it. Probably go on that dating site. You put a profile, then your information, you chat.
But on Instagram, for instance, what do you put there such that people identify that you are also gay?
I was a nudist.
On Instagram?
Yes, please.
Okay. So you put it out there and then they identify that this is also a gay person, and then they contact you. Yeah. And then that's it.
Yeah. So now, as I was saying, being gay is just a feeling. It's not about those acting like girls. You see, sometimes you have this perception that, hey, could you be saying, because this person is walking this way, this person is gay. No, we are getting it all wrong. It's just a feeling.
Okay.
From where I'm coming from, I can tell you boldly that we have masculine people who are always in the gym and they are gays.
Okay.
It's not about how your structure is. It's just a feeling. Because if you call anyone here right now, the only thing they'll say, this is how I feel. It's just a feeling that we have.
So nobody can force anyone to be gay. It's a feeling, it's a choice.
It's a choice. Because now, as I said, they are working according to their feeling. Like, they are acting upon their feeling. Just like I feel like eating rice. Oh, I'm craving for rice. Then you go for rice. You decide
you can decide not to go for it as well.
Do you get it?
Exactly.
So that's how they feel. Because the Bible says, I shouldn't go religious, eh? I can,
We'll get there. Now you can.
All right. So now the Bible says that in sin we were conceived. And when you read the same Bible, it tells us that some sin leads to death. Some don't. For the wages of sin is death. And then again, when you go down in another verse, it tells you that some sins leads to death. Some don't. Every unrighteousness is a sin. And this particular act is against our moral law as human. Now, he said, let us make man in our own image so that we can multiply. How can a man, then what are you telling us? God didn't know what he was saying. How can we multiply if you have a partner?
There are other ways of multiplying these days. I'm sure you're aware. There are other ways of multiplying.
No, I'm saying if you have a partner, how can you multiply? So two will become one. How? Two become one.
Okay.
So if you are two, these two, if I have a partner right now, how can we multiply?
So, but for your encounter with Christ that you talk about, you'd have been married to, to a male.
Yes, please.
Okay, so let's talk about that encounter, but wait. Hold on to that one.
All right, sure.
Then let me take you to Nkranza now. There's a development there. We are told that the Queen Mother of the Nkranza traditional area, Nanaya Duda Kani 1, has banned gays and lesbians in the town. And this is after the youth of the town allegedly caught a suspected gay in the act. According to our correspondent there, the suspected man, known as Yao Berima, was caught in the room naked and about to get into the act when they pounced on him. They then rushed him to the chief's palace where the Queen Mother performed some rituals. Let me just hold on there because our Bono East correspondent, Anas Sabit, has all the details. He joins us via Zoom. Anas, many thanks for your company. So give us the details. What exactly happened to Mr. Ba?
We had reports of the incident, and so we have to rush to the grounds and speak with the victim who, reported the incident to the youth before the said Yao Berima, who is 27 years old, was picked by the youth. Most of the people we spoke with, we've had the opportunity to speak with about 4 different people, and they all confirmed he tried, having the act with them, but they declined. These are youth of the area whom he has attempted to, sleep with. And the particular victim told us he tried it a number of times. He discussed it with the youth of the area. Some of them didn't believe it. So he told them, okay, the next time the guy tries again, he will invite them so that they will be witnesses to the incident. So this guy called the victim, who is known as Frank Nyako, 21 years, and told him he is in a particular room, so he wants him to be there. So the victim then alerted his guys and told them that, you see, the guy is calling me again to be with him in this particular room. So I'll be going there in the next 10, 15 minutes. You guys should come around and see what will happen. So the guys were alerted. He went in there with the culprit, who is Yao Berima, and Yao Berima tried to have sex with him. So he asked the victim to undress. The victim told him, no, it's not your room. This is someone's room. Why should I undress here? He said, oh, if I will undress, then you will have to undress first before I'll do that. So Yao Berima, 27, who is the one who caught in the act, had to undress naked. And then the victim, waiting for the other guys to come around, took out his shirt, and then he was left with the boxers. So that was when the guys who were peeping in the window saw that, yes, this guy is naked and he's trying possible best to have sex with or have that kind of action with the guy. So they knocked, and this guy tried to open the door. When they entered, Yao Berima was naked, trying to have the act with Frank Nyako. So basically, this is what was. So the guys asked him what he was about to do. And he said, oh, you came in and you saw myself and someone in this act. Why are you trying to paint a picture as if I'm the only one? One person cannot be gay. It should be the two of us. So he was trying to attract the other guy into the action. So it resulted into a brawl. They took videos. They have all the videos. They reported him to the traditional authorities. he was invited by traditional authorities. He first denied that he has no idea of the kind of accusation or allegations they are leveled against him. So what the traditional authorities did was that they told him, okay, now human beings don't fear God as they do to the God, the lesser God. So we are going to make you our God. If you truly you were not in the act, you'll be dealt with by the gods. The one who alleged is the one who is telling falsehoods. Then the gods will deal with the guy. So after some few minutes, Berima confessed that actually he is a gay, and he was about to have the act with the victim. So he confessed to the authorities, the traditional authorities, and so they had to find him. They said they asked him to slaughter 24 sheep, rams, and then pay some schnapps as well, and then they have to do some rituals to ensure that the gods will not be angered by that. And the authorities told us also that they have banished the act entirely from the lands of the Nkranza traditional authorities, and that even if it has been passed as a law in the country, no one will be permitted to practice it in the Nkranza community. And so that was what we were told by the spokesman for the Queen Madana for Sarkodie when after we engaged in
Anas, it appears we are losing Anas. Anas, you would have to reposition yourself. It's becoming a bit shaky. Your line becoming cracky there. We are unable to get your full submission. But that's my colleague Anas Sabet reporting from Nkranza there on a situation that we've just got wind of in the area. So he's been recounting that particular incident to us. And finally, the guy himself, Mr. Berima, has confessed to being gay, and he's been asked to sacrifice up to 20 sheep or so, and some rituals have to be performed. But we'll get to Anas Sabit with all the details, but I'm hoping that this gentleman has not been attacked or anything of the sort, but the proper thing will be done. But Aaron is still with me in the studios here, and he is in support of the proper sexual rights bill that is currently before Parliament, yet to go through all the processes. Religious leaders are asking that it's quickly passed and that acts of homosexuals will not be countenanced in this country. We've also been hearing from the Catholic Bishops' Conference, for instance. He's been speaking on upfront, Archbishop Philip Name, saying that they are willing to offer help and medical attention to all these persons who indeed need the support, homosexuals, I mean, but their identities, of course, will be protected. Do you consider it an illness, a sickness, a disease? Do you think that it is anything like that?
Oh, no, I'll say
it's not.
Because when you go back to the history of the LGBT, in US some years back, they considered it as to be abnormal. Mm-hmm. Now, when they did that, now we have lawyers, doctors, specialists who are gays. Now, because they're being called faggot, that's the word. They're being called faggot and all that. They stopped. They went on demonstration and stopped working. Mm-hmm. So now we have this specialist who is gay. Because we are talking about gay stuff and we are talking ill about them, he's not working anymore. So if you are sick and you need help, he's the only person who can treat you. And he's gay. And you don't like gays. So now he's home. So this is what happened. So we have these top people at then who were gays. Now they all went back to the house. They are not working anymore. Now the country needs them. So now if you need us, you need to accept us. They were in good positions, like pillars to the country. So now, these people went back home. If you need us, you need to come back. Then they came. That's when they accept. So the abnormality is still there.
Okay.
It didn't change anything. Now, I won't call it sickness because it's just a feeling.
Okay.
We pick up so many feelings.
Feelings, yeah. So thankfully, you're out of it. Yeah. For how long?
For 3 years now.
For 3 years now. And you are supporting this bill.
Yes.
In what capacity? What exactly are you doing with it?
With what?
In terms of your support for this particular
just
bill?
Going for interviews and
for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Understanding that it is possible that you can come out of it.
Okay.
I'm here as a living testimony.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Aaron, for joining us. We're indeed grateful. And thanks for telling your story. I'll take you now. That's Aaron Akrong there. He was formerly gay, no longer gay, and sharing his story with us and why you can't be. He feels that it's just a feeling. You can control it. But I'll take you now to the Jubilee House, where Dr. George Akufu-Dampare takes office as the 23rd substantive IGP.
The Inspector General of Police, and that I will uphold, preserve, protect, and defend the Constitution of the Republic of Ghana as by law established. So help me God. And finally, the oath of secrecy. I, holding the office of Inspector General of Police, do in the name of the Almighty God swear that I will not directly or indirectly communicate or reveal to any person any matter which shall be brought under my consideration or shall come to my knowledge in the discharge of my official duties, except as may be required for the discharge of my official duties, or as may be specially permitted by law. So help me God.
Thank you, Mr. President. May I again respectfully invite Mr. President to present the instrument of appointment to the Inspector General of Police. One without the marks, please. Thank you very much. A round of applause to that. The Inspector General of Police may now proceed to the table to sign the oath book. Thank you very much. Mr. President, please sign his portion of the oath book. Ladies and gentlemen, I now have the pleasure to invite the President of the Republic to deliver his remarks.
Eminent clergy, including the parish priest of Jubilee House, Reverend Canon Lamptey, Vice President, Chairperson and members of the Council of State, Chief of Staff at the Office of the President and officials of the Presidency, Minister for National Security, Minister for Defense, Attorney General and Minister for Justice, Ministers, Deputy Ministers of State, newly sworn Inspector General of Police, Chief of Defense Staff of the Armed Forces, the Controller General of the Immigration Service, the Acting Director General of the Prison Service, Commissioners of Police and senior police officers, Chairperson of the New Patriotic Party, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen, I welcome all of you to Jubilee House, the seat of our nation's presidency. We are met here this afternoon to perform an important act in the life of the nation, the induction into office of a new Inspector General of Police. This is the first time since I became president on 7th January 2017 that a formal occasion has been created to swear into the office the head of our country's police service. There's been a simple, solemn ceremony of investiture. And to that end, I'm grateful for the presence of all of you. On Wednesday, 21st July, I requested the then Inspector General of Police, Mr. James Opombuenu, to embark on terminal leave with effect from Sunday, the 1st of August, 2021, pending his retirement from the police service yesterday, on Thursday, 7th October 2021. In furtherance of this, I indicated that until a substantive IGP was appointed, Commissioner of Police Dr. George Akufu-Dampare, the next in command, was to serve as acting IGP. It has been an eventful 2 months since his appointment, and the acting IGP has left me with very little choice in the matter. His actions, which have received widespread support and acclaim from the population, vindicated the decision I made to entrust him with the mandate of heading the police, albeit in a temporary capacity. It was thus with no degree of difficulty that I informed the Council of State of my decision to make his appointment a permanent one, subject to consultation with the Council pursuant to Article 202, Clause 1 of the Constitution of the Republic. On Friday, 1st October 2021, I received a communication from the Council informing me of the positive outcome of its consultation. Consequently, I swore in COP Dr. George Akufu-Dampare a few minutes ago as our nation's 23rd Inspector General of Police. I congratulate Dr. George Akufu-Dampare warmly on his appointment, and with no hesitation say that it is a well-deserved one. He has risen through the ranks of the police service, starting off as a constable, and has served his nation dutifully. Today, he has reached the pinnacle of his career and will serve for the next 4 years as Inspector General of Police. He has demonstrated that he will be an effective leader of the police service and will help foster its efficiency. He will be walking in the footsteps of the 22 previous occupants of the office. And I have no doubt that in Dr. George Akufu-Dampare, we have a worthy successor to Mr. James Opong Opuenu, and indeed the others who have gone before him. I must at this point pay fulsome tribute to Mr. James Opon-Buenu for his distinguished service to the police service and our nation, especially for the calm, professional manner in which he led the operations of the police to assure the peace and stability of the country during last December's presidential and parliamentary elections, a period of considerable sensitivity for the unity and welfare of the Republic. He has my lifelong respect, and I wish him a well-earned retirement. Ladies and gentlemen, the most important things for our nation are its peace, the safety of its people, and the preservation of its territorial integrity. It is when these are guaranteed that citizens can go about their normal lives in security and hope to improve on the quality of their circumstances. We all sleep feeling safe when the men and women of the police service work to keep our communities and our streets safe. Newly sworn IGP, the issue of law and order is particularly germane at this time, when the traditional challenges to security, such as chieftaincy conflicts, land disputes, religious intolerance, ethnic animosities, and political rivalry, are being compounded by contemporary threats like drug and human trafficking, proliferation of small arms and light weapons, armed robberies, cyber crimes, and activities of nomadic herdsmen. That is why government is working to modernize and resource the police service adequately in order to assist it to maintain law and order and protect lives and property. I assure you, the government is determined to give whatever support it can so that we can have the service that the people of Ghana deserve. The Constitution has in Article 202, Clause 2, designated the IGP as the head of the police service and subject to the provisions of the Constitution and to the control and direction of the Police Council, responsible, and I quote, for the operational control and the administration of the police service, unquote. As I indicated last week at the graduation ceremony of the 50th Cadet Corps Officers Course of the police service, government has put in place far-reaching measures to improve the quality of the police service and the welfare of police personnel, and we will continue to do more in the coming years. It is often said that the public is the police and the police is the public. The citizenry can only have confidence in the police service when its members are seen to be honest and enforce the law without fear or favor. Your task as IGP during your term of office is to establish a service that maintains the trust of the citizenry. It is in everybody's interest that the police service conducts itself as the principal creditable instrument of accomplishing the executive's duty of maintaining law and order in the state. Governments in our body politic have term limits, and in a multi-party democracy, parties win and lose power. It is good for the health of the nation that this should be so. And this is why the police service under your leadership should not tie its well-being or otherwise to the fortunes of the ruling party of the day. As president, and together with you as Inspector General of Police, we need to cooperate to ensure that the police service is left to focus on its core mandate and not be an appendage of the ruling party. I envisage the development of a police service that goes about its function of protecting ordinary citizens, confident that there will be no interference from the powers that be. Newly sworn IGP, I believe strongly that in you We can help promote the development of a nation governed by the rule of law and respect for human rights, with the police being at the front line of this endeavor. The police has the primary responsibility of maintaining peace and keeping law and order in our country, and government will do its best to assist you in the police service discharge this effectively. May God bless the new Inspector General of Police, Dr. George Akufu-Dampare, and us all. And may God bless our homeland, Ghana, and make her great and strong. I thank you for your attention.
We thank Mr. President for his very instructive remarks. It's now my pleasure to invite the Inspector General of Police to respond to Mr. President's remarks.
Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, Nana, Chairman of Council of State, honorable members of the Council of State, Madam Chief of Staff, service commanders, the clergy, my colleague, former members, commissioners, and other heads of security agencies here present, honorable ministers of state, distinguished invited guests, friends from the media, ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to profoundly thank His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, for the honor done me by appointing me as the Acting Inspector General of Police, and today confirming me as the 23rd substantive Inspector General of Police of our country. Mr. President, my family and I are most grateful to you for the confidence that you have in me to allow me to take such a position of service to our nation. I also would like to thank Mr. Vice President for his leadership of the Police Council and his personal support and encouragement to me over the years. And I know I will continue to count on him in this regard. Equally, I would like to thank Nana, Chairman of the Council of State, for mentoring me over the years, and other members of the Council for taking a critical look at the request of His Excellency to consider me for this position and giving your support to it. I'm most grateful. I also would like to thank my mother, the Chief of Staff, for her motherly care and support at all times, which has deepened since my appointment as the Acting Inspector General of Police. And I know, now that I'm in that capacity as a substantive Inspector General of Police, more of such motherly love will be extended to me for me to have the peace of mind to work together with my colleagues to keep the peace of this country. I, at the same time, also would like to thank my sector minister, who for another very important assignment, he's not here with us today, for the cooperation, the support that he has given me over the years before even I became the Acting Inspector General of Police. And when I also became Acting Inspector General of Police, he has continued on and even done more. And I know that now that I'm in the position, he will probably do 3 to 4 times what he has been doing for me. And I'm grateful to him. And I'm also very grateful to my colleagues at the service commanders level, including my big brother, the Chief of Defense Staff, for all the support I've received since my appointment as the Acting Inspector General of Police. And coming to a point that we've seen that the only weapon to defeating and fighting crime is when we work together. And I hope we'll continue to do that in the interest of this country. And I also would like to thank my colleagues, POMA members, the commissioners who are here, and those who are not here today, and the entire police force for the outpour of love, support, understanding accorded me since I joined the service to today, and even expanding it upon my assumption of office as the Acting Inspector General of Police. And if I have been able to do anything, it is because of that support that you've given me. So colleagues at POMAP and the entire police force, I want to say thank you very much. And as we have always been saying, we are in this together. And when we are in it together and we do it together, the results beats people's imagination. So I hope we'll continue to stay together as a family and pursue all the things that we need to pursue in order to bring peace and tranquility to our dear nation, Ghana. Mr. President, you've actually set the pace for us in terms of what we're supposed to do. And I want to give you the assurance that working in concert with my colleagues within the police service and outside it, and also getting the support and the backing of the population of the country, we will be able to leave the police service better than we came to find it. So that at the end of the day, if we leave the service and we are passing by and we see police people doing an excellent job, we will be proud and tell ourselves without anybody hearing that yes, we also contributed, and as a result of that, we are seeing a different police service. And our vision has been to become a world-class police institution. And Mr. President, we are poised, we are focused in attaining that. We know it is not going to be easy. By my colleagues and I, we have made our mind that even if we are unable to take it to that destination, we, at this time, will position the organization towards that destination such that there will be no turning back. And I know it is doable, because anything that we put our mind to, your heart to, and stay focused on it, it will definitely come to pass. So our focus is to make sure that over the years, so soon into the future, we'll become the most respected organization in the country and a reference point for Africa and beyond. Because we know that if we succeed in doing that, then at the end of the day, we'll get our respect back as an institution. The trust and confidence of the people will come back to us in a force that will help us to deepen our legitimacy. And it is something that we are proud of if we are able to achieve. And Mr. President, finally, I would like to say that we know that as police officers and other security agencies, we happen to be one of the few who become civilians twice in our lives. Before joining the service, we are civilians, and at a retirement, we become civilian. So our focus is that the police service we are nurturing today will be the police service that will police us and our children and our family when we come back into retirement. And knowing the privileges that we enjoy as officers now, if we are unable to institute a police system that will police us better than what is currently being done, then we will be the losers. So whatever we do today in terms of making the police service better, we do it for ourselves. And Mr. President, working in concept, in partnership, and in unity with my colleagues at all levels within the organization, we can assure you that we'll stick to it and achieve it to make you proud, to make the people of this country proud, to make our families proud, and make ourselves also proud. So, Mr. President, once again, I thank you from the bottom of my heart for giving me such a rare privilege to serve my country in this capacity. And I want to assure you that I came into service with humility, with integrity, and with understanding that when we are all in it together, the result is better. Mr. President, I thank you for the opportunity once again. Thank you, sir.
23rd substantive IGP of Ghana, Dr. George Ekufu-Dampare, duly sworn in. He was appointed in acting capacity in July. In October, he has been sworn in by President Akufo-Addo with a charge to focus on his core mandate as an IGP and a service and not become an appendage of the ruling party. He's also been asked to establish a service that will win the trust of the Ghanaian populace. And you've been hearing the IGP himself also speaking at that swearing-in ceremony. I'll take you through what he's been saying, essentially thanking the president for that appointment and also reminding himself about entering into the service with humility, and then also, ability to serve, and then also integrity. So 2 keywords, humility and integrity, he talks about, and then also ensuring that the Ghana Police Service becomes a world-class service. Though it will not be an easy road, he admits that will happen. The president has also been assuring that the government will do its best to provide to the police service all that it needs to make them focus on that mandate and not, become an appendage of this ruling political party or any other for that matter. And that's the swearing-in ceremony currently underway at the Jubilee House. But whilst we wrap up on that, because we're told that it's just the closing prayer and the final formalities currently ongoing at the Jubilee House. And once again, Dr. George Akuffo-Dampare is now the substantive IGP, 23rd. And I'll walk you through a few of his credentials, and then also later we'll get to look at what he's done within the short period that he's been acting up until when he's been finally sworn in as the substantive IGP of Ghana. There were a few shake-ups also in there, but we'll walk you through it. But let's go through some of his credentials right here. So Dr. George Akuffo-Dampare, we know by now, is the youngest because he's 51 and he's been appointed. And he's been in the Fourth Republic. And we know that he's also the 8th youngest since Ghana gained independence. Prior to this appointment, he was the most senior police officer after the just retired IGP. And then also Dr. Dampare joined the Ghana Police Service as a constable in December 1990 at age 20, and then rose through the ranks all the way to become Commissioner of Police, COP. 24 years later, at age 44 in 2014, the rank he held until his appointment. That's what he is, COP, that's the rank. And then in 1991, on completion of his recruit training, Dr. Dampare was adjudged the overall best recruits at the National Police Training School and won all awards except the award for the best marksman. So that's it. And then again in 1996, he emerged the overall best cadet for the 32nd Cadet Officers Course at the Ghana Police Academy, which is formerly the Police College, and won all awards there also, including excellence in professional police subjects and excellence in academic subjects. We go on to others. Between 2010 and 2015, under the leadership of the 2 IGPs, former IGPs, Paul Teriakwe and then Mohammed Ahmed Al-Hassan, Dr. Dampare led and coordinated the National Anti-Armed Robbery Reward to Informant Initiative, which saw the arrest and prosecution of many notorious armed robbers across the country. For which reason people say that he's able to deal with the armed robbery menace. And as Director General in charge of welfare, Dr. Dampare introduced an innovative social welfare scheme where he led officers from the department to visit the homes of scores of sick and bedridden police officers across the country, and then also introduced strategic medical interventions to facilitate their wellness. Moving on, in 2013, under the leadership of the then IGP, Mr. Mohammed Ahmed Al-Hassan again, Dr. Dampare led a team of officers working day and night to restructure the Armored Car Squadron, that was ACS back then unit, into the formed police unit as we have it today within a record time of, guess what, just 10 weeks. Now, the task he had also remained impossible for over 15 years. The FPU has now become one of the police units undertaking internal police operations and international peacekeeping missions under the United Nations and, of course, the African Union. Now, as Accra Regional Commander at one time, Dr. Dampare raised sufficient capital from the private sector to complete a new office complex and re-roofed 90% of all office buildings at the regional headquarters, which had been in a deplorable state for years. So still going through more of what he's been doing as an officer all the way to becoming IGP. Aside his policing, Dr. Dampare previously worked as a research fellow and lecturer at King's College London, University of London. And then he also lectured at the University of Cape Coast, Ghana Institute of Management, GIMPA, Regent University, he was there also, and then Data Link University College. That's what he's been doing as well. He also became one of the pioneer lecturers at the Business School of the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. That's Dr. Akufo Dampare. And then finally, Dr. Dampare has also served and continues to serve on several boards, including the IOCO, the governing board. He also was on the Data Link University College Governing Board, the Police Central Disciplinary Board, and then the Pumpkins Foundation Board. It's a philanthropic organization for underprivileged children, including those with autism. And then, as you all know, he's married with what, 6 children. That's our 23rd substantive IGP of Ghana, Dr. George Ekufu Dampare. Congratulations once again. But like I said, he was appointed in acting capacity in July. Then in October, he's been confirmed. Within that period, what has he been up to? Here's a news desk report.
George Ekufu Dampare, until his appointment, was the Director General in charge of administration at the service. He was the overall best recruit at the National Police Training School. Upon completion of his training in 1991, he became a chartered accountant at the age of 25. He is the youngest acting IGP to be appointed in the Fourth Republic. He is the 8th youngest to be given the position since 1957. COP Dampare holds a Doctor of Philosophy degree in Finance and Management from the King's College London and 2 Masters of Science degrees with distinction in Accounting and Finance from the London South Bank University, UK, and Business System Analyst and Design from the City University of London. He has served as Head Director General of almost every department in the police service and is credited with the idea that led to the establishment of the Police Office of the Army General, which serves as a central point for accounting for arms and ammunition within the Ghana Police Service. Since assuming office in acting capacity, he has toured the entire country, urging police personnel to serve with integrity.
Let's continue doing what is right, what is pleasing in the sight of God, what is pleasing in the sight of the community, what is pleasing in the sight of the law, and leave the rest with that. As long as you do what is right, as long as you are professional, I can assure you, we'll do whatever it takes to make your service career a pleasing, refreshing, and a wonderful one.
Dr. Dampare comes to the job at a time the country is experiencing an upsurge in armed robberies in some parts of the country, with some calling for increased police presence on the streets. President Akufo, who recently announced financial clearance for the service to recruit 5,000 more personnel, said only discipline can help the Ghana Police Service win the fight against crime.
It is important that discipline prevails throughout the service. This is a charge I give the Acting Inspector General of Police and the entire police administration. Without discipline and effective supervision, winning public confidence and support to fight crime will be very problematic. I cannot end without reiterating the support of government and I for the recent actions taken by the Acting Inspector General of Police, George Ekufu Dampare, which are eliciting strong backing from the population. He has so far vindicated my decision to repose trust in him to hold this high office.
Well, for the political watchers, the IGP's neutrality and professionalism of the service will guarantee cooperation.
I expect that he should go on an agenda of rebranding the Ghana Police Service. The Ghana Police Service is not supposed to be seen as a warrior. The Ghana Police Service is supposed to be seen as a friend.
He can be political because he owes his appointment to a political actor, but he shouldn't be partisan.
Well, on that very last note then, that news desk report, today the president has been charging him to focus on the core mandate of policing and not become an appendage of the ruling party. And I'm sure it's a charge that the IGP is to keep. I'll take you live to the Ashanti region, where we know that police have stepped up efforts still on security-related concerns to deal with robberies in the area. So it comes in the wake of a string of robberies targeting persons who have just withdrawn cash from banks in various parts of the country. We've recorded in Cape Coast and, of course, in the capital as well. The most recent happened on Wednesday when armed men entered the Atonsu branch of the Adanse Rural Bank in Kumasi and killed a private security man on duty. Erastus Asare-Donko has been speaking to some of these bank customers who say they are a bit apprehensive about doing business in the banks.
I think the insecurity in this country, it's not allowing, we the bankers, we save money in the bank, we're not comfortable nowadays because when you go to the bank, because of the cyber insecurity, people will be following around, maybe tracing you with their mobile phones and any other technology devices, So nowadays, it's very, very insecure. When I walk to the bank like this, sometimes I even turn around, look back because I'm afraid,
Because of the situation that is happening at the bank, for me per se, I have a mobile banking system. So I don't usually go to the bank, but I can just stay in my comfort at my own room just to take money from the mobile banking. Then from there I can go to the mobile money vendors. Then I can just withdraw the money from them.
We know the current state of the people we have in our country, the demographic we have in our country. A lot of them are not so educated for you to champion a lot of mobile banking, and then up to now we still have a lot of them even saving in microfinances and not actual banks. So to be fair to everybody, I think the government would rather have a lot of responsibility in ensuring that citizens are very safe. The banks as well can do something on their part, I think, to check cyber security.
Going to the ATM, when you are going to the ATM to withdraw a huge sums of money, at least you have to let someone to accompany you, a trusted person to accompany you to the ATM bank. Who knows, maybe there are some people tracking you. With the help of the one assisting you, you can get yourself out from the arms of the armed robbers.
Personally, I don't feel safe. And then I think the banks should do more to protect ourselves. Like they should install CCTV cameras, or they can also advise the government to use the digital system whereby we use something like a mobile money to do our transaction. I think that one will be safe.
Well, some residents of the Ashanti region, they're interacting with my colleague Erastus Asare-Donko. Thankfully, he joins us on the line. Erastus, we'll talk about these residents and what exactly they would want done, because you spoke to more of them. But first, I would want to find out if we have the very latest on this Atonsu situation. Has the police provided any briefing in terms of what their preliminary findings are?
Well, so there have been no arrests so far. I'm in touch with the police, and currently they are now crossing the T's, dotting the I's, getting any link to this particular. As the police indicates that per their preliminary findings, there was money in the bank. For example, there was money in some of the desks as well, but the assailants did not pick those amounts of money. They only left the banking hall with a laptop and a flat screen TV, and then they smashed part of the ATM machine outside. The police have cause to believe that this might be a decoy in trying to sway investigations into thinking that perhaps this is a robbery. That in fact, there might be some ulterior motives behind it. And so now they are opening and extending their investigations to cover every aspect of his life. And I can understand from today in my interaction with my sources that they are now getting to speak with family members, get more information about this gentleman, and get to know what might have triggered this, who engaged in this, and then they narrow down on possible suspects. So that is what we have for now. But for now, there have been no arrests.
Okay. Well, but because of this particular development, your interaction with residents revealed that residents are a bit apprehensive because of this particular incident in terms of doing business in the banks. Do we know what exactly they would want done to make them more comfortable?
In fact, when I speak with some of one guy, for instance, tells me that they will want to see different strategies, because with the old strategy that has been adopted in providing security at the various banks, you see an armed police officer or a private security person with no gun sitting in front of the bank. They think that it should be extended, that we have two armed police officers, one in plain clothes, perhaps sitting at a vantage point somewhere at the premises of the bank, and with one stationed specifically at the bank, armed, so that the other one will be observing from afar. If there's an attack, he can provide a backup for this particular person. They believe such a strategy, or a change in strategy from the normal way of providing security at the various banks, will help. There are others who have resorted to mobile money services, because they believe that sending money to the bank or withdrawing money from the bank is now a very risky business. But still, people are still transacting business in the various banks that we speak of, but with little apprehension that somebody might be tracking them. And so people are more vigilant these days to that threat as you speak.
So that's my colleague Erastus Asari-Donko there, bringing us the situation in the Ashanti region. As we've been hearing from banking consultants, it's still safe to do banking, to do business with banks, just that you have to take your personal security into your own hands. The banks are also encouraging that you rather resort to cashless transactions. You can use your mobile apps amongst others, and make sure that you do not carry huge sums of money on you, and monitor the kinds of conversations that you have. That little tip for you in terms of banking. And we'll take a quick break at this point here on The Pulse. We're right back. This is The Pulse here on the JoyNews channel. This afternoon, the coalition of aggrieved customers of Men's Gold is demanding government takes over the processes to settle their claims. Well, it follows the announcement by management of the defunct gold dealership firm that it will begin paying affected customers from December 2021 through to June 30, 2022. Let's go through that particular statement that has been issued by Men's Gold, because we'll be hearing from the aggrieved customers shortly in the studios with respect to our company, Men's Gold Ghana Company Limited, pending indebtedness subject matter. Kindly note that the following indicates in the roadmap to our final resolution. 1. Gold collectibles trading claims supporting document received within the 28th October 2029 and 28th November 2029 period for rigorous audit purposes is about 80% complete, they say. And then it also says that we note that a great number of about 45% of claimants' transaction supporting documents are either incomplete, fraudulent, inconsistent comparative to dates, figures, and amounts received as returns on the gold collectibles trade. It also goes on other portions of that statement from Men's Gold on the final payment roadmap. If we can go to portions of it. Additionally, we have discovered shocking evidence that points to the fact that some claimants purporting to be indebted to by Men's Gold transacted through third parties, some unethical Men's Gold and Brew Marketing Consult staff members, and in other instances via referrals, mostly close relations who took delivery of their funds under the pretext of signing them onto the Men's Gold Vault market, but ended up engaging in the many cryptocurrency products on sale on the Ghanaian market, with a monthly return on investment ranging between 30 and 60%. And other portion says we are commencing the final phase of the audit. This session will be traders, claimants, interviews to fully ascertain facts and satisfy ourselves with regards to questionable adverse discrepancies and irregularities that characterize some transaction claims received for audit and its subsequent payment. Let's go on to other portions of the statement as issued by Men's Gold yesterday. We shall then proceed to compile a list of all alleged conspirators, persons, purported clients, Men's Gold and Brew marketing staff members in a petition to the Criminal Investigations Department arm of the Ghana Police Service for further investigations and possible prosecution. This is from Men's Gold. And kindly note that strategic significant payments have already been made to some deserving gold vault market traders clients in Camera. So that's the statement issued by Men's Gold, signed by the PRO, Ni Amatefio. Well, thankfully, I've been joined in the studio by the PRO of the coalition of aggrieved customers of Men's Gold, Frederick Forson. We're grateful for your time here on the Pulse. Good to see you again. Yes, I hope you're doing well.
I'm also grateful
okay.
for the opportunity.
Well, it appears Men's Gold says that most of you are saying you are customers of Men's Gold, but it appears that you just conducted or transacted through third parties. It ended up somewhere, cryptocurrency, and you are there saying Men's Gold is owing you.
Wow. First of all, this very letter, there's another one signed by NAM1. It has the same content, word for word, signed by NAM1. He addressed the letter to, I think, the Director General CID. So it's important we put that one also to the public domain. So we don't know what is happening.
So at least he's written the CID to start investigations.
But it has the same content, not signed by the PRO, but signed by NAM1. Number two, he claims to be doing auditing. Who is supervising that auditing? Is it Men's Gold auditing itself? Because for what we know,
customers and the claims that you are making that they are owing you, because the auditing that they are doing, it appears that most of you, 30
I'll come
to
there.
60%.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying, that because Men's Gold is not an auditing firm. And from what we know, or best practices, if you want to do an activity of this nature, you go for an audit firm. We know of KPMG, we know of PricewaterhouseCoopers and the rest of them. And so we don't know who is doing that. Who is supervising? Because you are telling us this story after 2 years of collecting this document from us. I remember on 23rd October 2019, they came out with a letter inviting customers to present their document for validation.
Yeah.
After that activity, he came up with a payment schedule with the same title, Roadmap to Payments, blah, blah, blah. The same October, he came up with this schedule that he will start payment in December 2019. Just as we are having this one, nothing happened. So we don't know what this letter is supposed to achieve. The long and short of it is that we don't trust Men's Gold a bit. We don't trust Men's Gold. We don't trust their CEO, neither the PRO. Whatever reports that they claim to have after their so-called audit, they should hand over everything to Parliament. Because we have indicated in our press conference a month ago that we are now going to Parliament, and we have even begun the official engagement. So if they believe, as we can hear from the tone of the letter, that they also have a goodwill toward the customer they want to pay, they should hand over everything, every report that they have, to Parliament.
And they've done that to the CID. That's not enough.
Oh, I'm just urging you, do your checks at the CID, whatever in that letter is there. Because in that letter that's signed by NAM1, he copied the customers. But as we speak, we have not seen anything. So you go there and this is just anything for the media. It's just for them putting something out. Without them, we are saying, in fact, in our press release, we have given a response. We are saying Men's Gold doesn't have a credibility. We don't trust them a bit. I can go on and give you.
But this is the same Men's Gold you trusted. No, this is the same Men's Gold you trusted to do business with. Now something has gone wrong. They say that this is the roadmap. We're going to pay. Why have you lost trust for them all of a sudden?
This is not the first roadmap
Men's Good has put out. This is about the third roadmap. The first one was in 2018, the same October, promising they will do payment in December.
And nobody was paid.
Nothing happened.
So some people have been paid in camera. Did you not read the statement?
If I'm sure when we go back to archives in multimedia here, you will hear numerous calls that I myself am part of the people who call them that in 2019, the payment they claim to have done, they should publish it.
No, they said they've done that in camera. Gold vote, they said they've paid them in camera.
But what is that animal called in camera payment? What is it supposed to be?
Oh, the people don't want people to know that they've been paid.
So what is it? And now who is forcing them to publish? Now they say they're going to publish it. So what has changed? What is happening really is that we have approached Parliament. They know what is coming. The Parliament is going to probe the activities of Men's Good. So they are just putting out this letter for us to know that they are also doing something. And also, again, 2 weeks ago, I went to another network and made a statement that from the day that Men's Good was shut down, on the 12th September, the burden of paying the customers shifted from Men's Good to the government. And the reasons are very simple. Your bank accounts have been frozen. Your assets have been frozen. So you are bankless. You don't have anything to do payment. You don't have the capacity to pay. So we are saying that sit down and relax. Because now the back doesn't stop with you again. Everything is with the government. This payment that they say they're going to do in December, from which account are they doing the payment? Because we know.
Assets still frozen? Do you know?
Assets, yes.
Still frozen?
Yes, because there is a court order that was published by Yoko. And I'm sure you are in the media, we follow you a lot. I'm sure if the assets have been unfrozen, we would have heard of it. Nothing has happened. So where are they going to do the pay? So please, they have good intentions. Submit all your audit reports to Parliament. Parliament is ready to go into it.
What has become of the CID case against him? We know that we've all followed this case up until this point. It was supposed to be in court and everything. You have been following.
Yes, it has been adjournment, one adjournment upon the other. I remember the last time you even did a story. And I must be, we have to show a greater appreciation to this very house. Since 2018, what you have done for us, we can't pay you. We are most grateful to you.
We appreciate it.
Because anytime they go to court, they said adjournment. If I'm told on the 11th of October, he's supposed to go to court. Some people are even thinking that maybe he just put this thing out and so it will be part of his package, brief to the court, for the court to have a favor. Please, we are already mourning the 120 people who have died. He has done us so much evil. Number one, and you see, this very letterhead that you read, this very letterhead, the color and everything, he used the same letterhead in 2020, inviting customers to go and do a transaction with a company called Payboy. That is another company that he came out with. It ended up that company was another scam. Many customers were scammed by him. That's why we say that he doesn't have a credibility. We don't trust him. And please, your audit report, forward it to Parliament and let's meet there.
Well, but what kind of response have you received from Parliament on this? Because you've petitioned Parliament a couple of times.
Yes, we have initiated the processes. I remember we visited the Right Honourable Speaker, and he said publicly that it is now time for the people of Ghana to hear the Men's Good story.
Okay.
We are only praying and waiting that they come in October, I think 26th, for the former laying of what their processes to begin. Then we know what will happen. So, Men's Good, we thank you so much. But this is your letter. In fact, if I don't even want to go into the letter, because in the letter they said they have done 80% of the auditing. And so it's incomplete. That's not the point.
And then some, they established
out of the
80%,
45%
fraudulent.
Have done fraudulent.
Yes.
That's why we are questioning who is even supervising Senate. The 80%, you don't have the final report. But we have gone ahead to publish that in December 20th, you do payment. Who is forcing you to do that? I mean, what is the motive?
But it's your money you want.
Yes, but what do you want to achieve?
Okay.
Do you understand?
Let me bring in Priscilla Edu Boating. She's on phone. Affected customer also. Priscilla, thank you very much. I have limited time, but briefly, once again, how much money exactly do you have locked up with Men's Gold?
Hello.
Hello, Priscilla, if you can hear me. I'm asking how much exactly you have locked up in Men's Gold that you are expecting to be paid.
Please, good afternoon to all Men's Gold customers and everybody. I'm actually having 760,000 Ghana cedis locked up in Men's Gold.
750,000. Wow, interesting. And are you part of those that they've started paying?
No, please. I haven't taken a dime of it.
Okay. Well, but you haven't heard anything since you submitted your documents to Men's Gold when they started asking you to submit?
Nothing at all.
Nobody
Nothing.
has contacted
Seriously.
you? Nobody has contacted you?
No, please. I haven't actually had anything. Nothing at all. Yeah.
Interesting. Well, that's Priscilla Edu Boating. I'm sure you know her.
Yes, yes.
Okay.
She's one of our customers.
So in wrapping up, though, you have not met none of his officials have approached you since everything happened, and this roadmap, who they've paid, which of your members they've paid and everything?
Even we didn't know this letter was coming. He never informed us. The last time we met him was the 1st February in 2020.
Okay.
It was that point that some of us decided that it is not worth pursuing because of the things he said.
What did he say?
One of them, you know, recently he did a tweet that he's also owed by Men's Gold. Has he been paid now? Because he said he was also affected customer. He made that statement over there that he's also owed by Men's Gold. And so you are the director and the CEO of a company. So if you are owed by Men's Gold, then it means you are also an affected customer.
Mr. Fossen, we are grateful. Thank you very much. That's the PRO of aggrieved customers of Men's Gold demanding that government takes over the processes. They've actually petitioned Parliament on it, hoping that there would be a public inquiry for the Men's Gold story to be told. We're right back with sports.
Many thanks for joining me on Sport on the Pulse. I'm Hans Mensah, and the Black Stars of Ghana will hold their last training session this evening at the Cape Coast Sports Stadium ahead of tomorrow's World Cup qualifier against Zimbabwe. My colleague Gary L. Smith and Abeku Otri are in Cape Coast as we speak, and we go live to them for an update. Gary, if you can hear me, we understand that there was going to be a press conference. Has it been done?
No, it's not been done yet. Thank you, Hans, and warm welcome to the Cape Coast Sports Stadium. It's pretty interesting that we are waiting for Milovan Rahivat and his interpreter, of course, and we are told that Andre Ayew will be speaking for the team, and they'll be speaking here in just about 20 minutes. We were given 4:30, but we are told the official time is 5, and so we are waiting for that. What they are expected to talk about is how things are in the camp and the final preparations, how ready they are, the mental mood of the team, probably a few questions about how tough the qualifiers will be, Milovan Rahivat about what he's seen in the first few days so far. And remember, for us in the media, this will be the first time that we'll be able to train our cameras for the training sessions, as Milovan had asked for some time away from the cameras where the training sessions were concerned also. So that's what we are waiting for. And our correspondent throughout the week has been Abeku Otri. He joins me here as well. And today we are with him in the flesh and not via Zoom. Thank you very much, Abeku, and good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon, how are you?
Yeah, you've been holding the fort for us here and giving us the feedback about what people in Cape Coast, as you like to say, Cape Coasters, have been expecting for the game. Today we are here, we are, seeing things for ourselves. But yes, indeed, it doesn't seem to be much of a buzz like you've been reporting this week. Very interesting. But do we expect the 4,000 mark that the GFA have set for the game tomorrow to be met by the fans? Will we have 4,000 people from what they are picking up?
Yeah, I believe we'll be very close, or if not, having the 4,000, because Cape Coasters would always want to keep it for the last moment.
Last minute for you, huh?
Last minute for you. So, with time, we'll be seeing people, the interest will be growing, with time. So we'll just have to hold on for today. And people have been already, asking me of what the amount for the ticket, VVIP, I tell them, well, that's reserved, but for VIP, yeah. So let's just hold on for now. People will be coming in their numbers, Gary.
Yeah, so in fact, when we started putting up the post that we are in Cape Coast and we'll be reporting and so on, we did get quite a number of people asking how much the tickets are going for and so on. So if that is any indication, then maybe we can have a good crowd there. But it's vital, isn't it, that tomorrow we have people in the stadium to cheer. We need to make our home advantage count.
100%. We were here, we saw CK with the Black Stars, and the people didn't love it. Now the team stayed behind closed doors, did all the that they can, towards this game. And we expect to see something special, especially because the team beat Soccer Intellectuals by 8-0. That means a lot to the fans here. Cape Coasters, as you say. So, we are expecting to see them in their numbers, and they would want to see goals, as I indicated earlier.
Yeah, and just to wrap up, I told we have just about 2 minutes also, but in terms of the starting lineups, that is one big news item that we'll be looking to report by our 7:40 bulletin that will be on JoyNews Prime. Hans will be looking to give you what should be perhaps a confirmed lineup from our lenses by then, but you followed the game against Soccer Intellectuals. We saw those who played in the first and second half. Is there any clue as to who will play as well?
Well, I believe that it will be a bit of a try and error, being very cautious from the head coach because, he's seen the squad for the first time. It's not like the previous he knew. So, he's going to pick those who impressed him during that space of time. So, we are likely to see a few notable names. Of course, Thomas Partey will be in the lineup, and probably Alexander Jiku. Cape Coasters have fallen in love with that guy.
Okay, all right. So that's about it. Let's do a quick pan of my colleagues in the media here getting ready for their press conference as we get ready for the press conference. It's the Cape Coast Stadium. This will be the venue of the match as well. We have not heard much of the Zimbabweans. However, we will be bringing you what will be said by the coach Milovan Rahivat and Andre Ayew, the captain of the side as well. Hans, if you can hear me, that is it from Cape Coast.
Ariel Smith all the way from Cape Coast as we prepare for that press conference that like you heard, would involve Milovan Rahivat and skipper of the Black Stars, Andre Ayew. I'll definitely be bringing you details of that later on in the sports segment of Joy News Prime. In the meantime, however, do log on to myjoyonline.com/sports for the latest on the Black Stars and, of course, from the world of sports. My name is Hans Mensah. Many thanks for your time.
And that's it for today's edition of The Pulse. Let's talk showbiz, and don't forget to catch me on the Joy Prime channel on Sunday at 4:30 p.m. Right here on the Joy News channel. We'll be back on Sunday evening with The Probe at 8 p.m. I am MF Pao. Thanks so much for your company. There's more news when you log on to myjoyonline.com. Let's talk showbiz.